Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. I
Good.
can even see you now.
Okay. I haven't figured out what the default startup is for Zoom. Sometimes it comes up with video on, but the mute on also. I assume there's some standard protocol, but
When you set the meeting up in the Zoom console, you get to select all that stuff. So
you say when you set it up, meaning
when
me?
when I set it up, when I set the meeting up in the in the admin, on the admin side.
Okay.
So the unfortunate part about that is when I set it up, I wasn't 100% sure what I was doing. And then when to keep the same meeting ID, I just had to duplicate the old meetings, and I had to duplicate all the settings. Now I've learned a little bit more, and I want to change settings, but if I change settings, then the meeting ID changes, meaning all the links change, meaning that's probably more of a pain for everybody else. So I just change it.
Okay.
So,
all right.
But on the admin console, on the website, on the back end, it lets you decide, you know, do you want the microphone muted? Do you want the video on? Do you want the video off? You know, all that stuff. Do you want to force them to use a password or not use a password?
Okay.
So that's I guess the standard is whatever whoever's setting up your meeting, whatever they decide they want to do.
Okay. Okay.
But
so you said in your email that you had signed up for another Kickstarter robot thing.
Yeah.
What was that about?
Actually, that one was. Howdy, Kenny.
Hi, Kenny.
Hey.
That robot was. It's a similar idea. It looks more like it's a toy, but it's got more AI to it. So
I see.
It also was slightly more expensive, and I think if I remember right, it was programmable, so I could hook it up to the Arduino IDE or whatever IDE they give you to use and program it.
It was silent on the link I read. Was silent on the subject of programming and so forth.
Yeah, I don't remember. Maybe it was an app. Maybe there was an app that they gave you, but I seem to remember that it could be programmed. So maybe that was a goal. Maybe that was one of their extending goals or whatever it was. But
well, this was clearly designed originally as a pet toy, and they had all those videos of kittens playing with chasing a robot around and so forth. And so
yeah. I saw that one, and the more expensive model, the one that connected to Wi-Fi, was intriguing to me, but I don't know. There was something about that one that I just kind of went, eh. I had already backed the other one, and I just kind of went, eh.
Okay.
Oh, look, we can only see half of Jim.
Say, Jim, the upper half of your head's missing.
Upper half turned into a monitor.
He's a monitor, yeah.
Oh, you've got your camera tucked underneath the edge of the monitor. I see. Okay. That makes sense.
I'm coming in low.
Yeah, that's for sure.
No, I had my, I replaced my laptop and I got everything up, but I normally don't operate with my laptop lit up. So when I turned the laptop lit up, it just assumed I wanted to use the camera in the laptop. So here I am.
Oh, you can't select it.
Oh, so the laptop's behind a monitor.
I can select it, but I just didn't. Let's see.
Hey, Mike.
That makes sense. So.
Oh, it doesn't even see my camera. Oh, it doesn't see my other camera. Okay. Leroy says I look better that way. It's better that than a bag, or I think he prefers a bag, actually.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
I just can't breathe in that bag, Leroy. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. We'll try harder next time.
So when you put your head down like that, we can see you, Jim.
Oh, darn. I'll try not to do that again. Dang.
Jim had found some stuff on DMR or DRM radio this past week.
Yeah.
You know anything more, Jim?
No, I was
No.
looking for radio stations that I could, if I knew I had a good radio station, I might go for it,
Yeah.
Bart, how you? Oh, it's Kenny. What's going on, Kenny?
Not much. I listen to WGUC, okay, and that's public broadcasting radio, but it has what do you call it? Music that I like. It's string music, orchestrated music, Beethoven, and all that. So it's a nice radio channel. Then by accident, I switched the two last letters, and I found out that I was in Fort Myers. So it's a public broadcasting station down in Fort Myers. It's good too.
This is actually broadcast, or this is coming in over the internet?
It's coming through my Google, my little Google assistant here.
Yeah, but it's coming over the internet. It's not.
Yeah, it's coming over the internet.
Yeah, you're not picking up a signal that is 1,000 miles away.
Well, now that you said that, I'm in Florida today, just like Art's in California.
Oh, really? It's funny. You're using the same backdrop you use in Ohio.
Yeah, it's a picture I put up there. It's cool.
He's coming in Planet Kenny.
But the good news this week is I put a pair of shoes on. I haven't had a pair of shoes on my feet for over 3 months. Good news.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
So does that mean that you have gone outside your house, Kenny?
I have a boot I put the foot in, and a medical shoe that I put the thing in.
Okay.
And the other one goes into a moccasin. So yeah, and because my right foot is okay, I can drive. But walking around, which was a cane, and it was but yeah, got new shoes on. Haven't walked in 3 months, so it feels good.
So is this one of these wraparound Velcro kind of shoes that go over your lower thigh or lower calf?
No, we went to a running store, okay, a Buckeye running store here in town, and they fitted the shoe. So that was pretty nifty. Then I compared that to my New Balance shoe, the size, and they were extremely close. Then I went to Fleet Feet, okay, and I took off my socks, my sock there, and they put me on this like a little platform, and supposedly they measured me electronically, and they came out with the wrong size, so I left. So I'm a 4E, and they came out with a 2E. I said, well, so much for their modern technology. So yeah, so yeah.
So
That's
this
a
is
good-
this is an orthopedic shoe place, or this is a running shoe place?
This is a running shoe place, okay? And it is, you can go on their website and you can answer a few questions, and they can tell you what style shoe they have. And then you go down there and they have the old shoe thing that you put your foot in, and they can measure it. And then I put them on. Well, they said it'd be 7 to 10 days. They're coming from Vietnam. And then the following day he called up. He says, we got them. So went down there Saturday and put them on, and not too bad. But so much for Fleet Feet's electronic measurement of your feet. Not so good.
Interesting.
So, but my gym buddy, Tammy, she goes down there every 6 months and gets a new pair of shoes. So they don't, these shoes are not going to last. So if you think they're going to last you for quite a while, they won't. They're Rockports, well, not Rockports, but New Balance is $250 for a pair of gym shoes. But if you need shoes, you got them. So much for the electronic, let's measure your foot. But it's over with.
So how's your foot in general?
Still sore. It was the old bait and switch. You 3 weeks to 6 weeks you'll recover. Then it went from 6 weeks to 8 weeks and you'll recover. Then it went to 3 months you'll recover. Now it's 6 months and you'll recover.
Was it actually getting better or not?
Yeah, it's getting better all along. So, and the crazy part about it is when they operated on the toe, they were going to put a implant in there, and they didn't because they couldn't. So they glued in some stem cells, and they have taken. So I have stem cell joint in one of my toes.
Wow.
Yeah. And he said it came out better than if you had the insert in. So, all good.
So this is an orthopedic surgeon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the crazy part about the whole thing, 4 years ago, I had a surgeon said he cut off the toe. I told him, forget it. 2 years ago, I went to a different surgeon, and he said he cut off the toe. And I said, forget it. This one said we might be able to save it. So get a second opinion at all times.
So what was wrong with the toe to begin with?
It's too long, okay? It's bigger than the big toe, and all the shoes were jamming the toe, and they ruined the joint.
Ah.
You are talking about your center toe?
I'm talking about the toe next to the big toe, and they call it toe number 2.
Oh, okay, I've got that same condition, but I don't have any problems with it.
Your sizing of your it's only on my left foot. Most shoe stores, shoe people measure where your foot ends. Okay, your big foot ends on the toe at the top of the toe or shoe itself. They don't take in consideration that little extension that you and I've got and I went down to Dick's Sporting Goods, and no, I didn't know I had it, and I bought some real tight running shoes. And about 6 months later, I started hurting, and that was
Oh,
because
okay.
that toe was being jammed. So you don't ever want to jam that toe. So the size on the right is 11 and a half, and the size on the left where the bad toe is 10 and a half. But because I size you one size bigger or half a size bigger, it will never happen again to me. So always size it half size bigger than the biggest foot. So rule of thumb.
I always had, one guy told me, he says, buy your shoes as if you're wearing clown shoes. You want them
Yeah.
extra long.
You do. You want them extra long. Trust me. So, yeah, they're sized a half inch longer than the longest foot. So it's kind of like a clown foot on the left, but feels okay on the right. So
Yeah.
I'll put up with it. I'll put up with it. So
Hey, Leroy, I found your twin.
Oh, no.
Yeah. He has a shortwave listeners club. Has about 2,500 members.
Wow.
Find him on Google. He does broadcast Saturday and I think another day too. But he has a good club meeting. He has a big old tall beer sitting in front of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I call a club meeting there. Of course, it doesn't stop Art Silver Bullets over there. Got the
Say
silver.
again?
Yeah.
I didn't get that, Jim.
Oh, did you just? I guess Art, except Art probably has a silver bullet going there. Silver bullet, that the pseudo that you claim wasn't a silver
Oh,
bullet.
whoa. You're talking about one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is seltzer water, okay?
Oh, that's dangerous stuff, man. Go light on that.
Yep. Well, it's 0 calories. It tastes reasonable to me, and it provides me some hydration. I had a dehydration episode about 5 years ago, and I got to tell you, that wasn't fun. My blood pressure was 75/45, and the EMT who was trying to get me vertical said, "Don't stand up.
Yeah.
We'll get you in on the gurney, but don't attempt to stand up."
Yeah. At that low, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's very similar to a situation where you take too much insulin and your blood sugar drops way, way low. Again, you don't want to stand up. So one of the joys of aging, I guess.
What are your blinking blue lights back there? That's pretty interesting.
Blinking blue lights.
Yes, they're blue. Look bluish. To your right.
They're on a router
Are you talking about that black thing? Let me.
with antennas.
Yeah, 2 antennas.
Yeah, that's just the status lights on ASUS router.
Oh,
Hey, Leroy,
Hey.
I got a question.
Okay, I have an answer, but the right answer is going to cost you.
I thought maybe you were talking about this one. I've got 3 Arduinos sitting here beside me, blinking away, but I didn't see how you could see those. So, yeah, that router, I think I'm going to cycle out. I got it in early 2013, and it's I've got a lot more links on my routers here now any more than I did in 2013. So it occasionally freezes up on me. I think it just overheats.
Yeah. I've got an Asus. I've not had any trouble with it so far, and I've had trouble. I've got like 20 something cameras.
How old is it?
It's 5, 6 years old.
Yeah, this one's 8 years old.
Okay.
It was an N type, and the ACs had just been pre-released, but they were not actually fully officially standardized at that point. And I was a little hesitant to buy an AC for the reason that if some last minute change came along, I'd end up with a white elephant, I guess is the way to look at it.
Well,
So
mine,
I bought this.
you can update the software on mine, which I was pleased with.
Well, you can update the software on this one also, but you can't upgrade it to an AC. You got to go to a different ship site set for that. So, at any rate, is yours an AC?
Yeah, I think it's an AC.
No. But I've also got the Ubiquity access points now, which are picking up some of the load. So.
I'm ready for a question.
Okay, I noticed you got your virtual background going.
Yep.
When I try,
You wash yourself out.
yes.
Yeah. I'm not
So
real
I noticed you're highly illuminated. Is that the trick?
I have quite a bit of light. I'm also using a green background.
Oh, okay. See, this is what I
Yeah.
turned into.
So your white background, because of your complexion, you're washing yourself out.
Oh, okay. So I need a makeup artist.
Pretty much.
You can Leroy will let you borrow one of my paper bags, I suspect.
Let's see.
Yep. White probably won't work real well. Black might work.
Yeah.
Green definitely works. Blue works. Red probably would work, but then you'd have the opposite problem. You'd be washed out on your shirt.
Yeah.
Which probably isn't a huge deal. You just look like a disembodied head floating around.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
That's normal.
But
there we go.
But that's
okay.
That's why they recommend green. Because there's the way green is assembled color wise, it just seems to work better.
Okay, because there was an option here to pick your own background.
Yeah.
So I clicked onto the existing background, but that didn't seem to help any.
Yeah, you can try to you could try to play around a little bit, but because of your complexion and the white background already, you're going to wash yourself out almost every time.
Okay.
So you need something that shines a light in your face. Is that the idea?
No, actually, he just needs a different background. The white wall really does not work real well.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of a yellow.
Yeah, but it's the way the camera sees it, it looks more white to me.
Yeah.
I noticed when you were first playing around with it too, the one door didn't show up at all. I mean, I could see the door. Everything else was washed out. So, you
Yeah.
you had some weird thing going on.
Yeah, we'll have to get some paint.
Yeah, just a sheet piece of material.
Yeah.
Tacked up against the back wall. Look at that.
Yeah,
That's kind of neat.
Have to go to Joanne's. Oh, there it went.
I got I bought mine at Walmart. I think it was a 6x3 piece,
Well, okay.
which was too small, but it was only like $6.
Yeah, I can't beat that.
So,
So Leroy, is it on a stand or is it just posted against the wall?
well, after I played around with it a little bit, I did buy a stand. So there is here. Hang on a second. We will turn off the virtual background. Maybe. I said none. I clicked on none. Okay, maybe not. Anyway, I've got two pieces. There's a piece of green over here covering my workbench. That's the piece that I actually bought from Walmart, and it is a darker green. And then I bought a stand that came with a larger sheet, a larger piece of fabric, and it's a little bit lighter, but that's why I have a lot of light, because to get the two to blend together a little bit, I've got a lot of light going on to try to blend the two together. And you can still see every now and then, you'll see where there's some tearing at on mine. And then that one piece of fabric doesn't quite cover the entire desktop. You can see my laptop poking out a little bit, and part of the desk, but it's close enough. Usually can see the tearing over on this side. There's usually some tearing over there, but I've fixed most of that with putting a lot of light into it, just throwing a bunch of light at it.
Okay. Well, I hear the missus stirring. She was taking a nap. So I think it's my cue to go pick up dinner.
There we go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So you can see there's even some wrinkles. The wrinkles will cause some problems. I got a fan in here blowing, so you can see the part of the one moving a little bit. But the wrinkles cause a little bit of problems. That's where some of the tearing comes from. And then of course the movement causes some tearing. But overall it's not bad.
No, it works good.
So, and once you finally get it set, just leave it alone. That's the best advice I've got for this thing is, once it's done, just leave it alone. I have found as well that, like, the image that I produce, see there's a little tearing right there, but the image that I try to project, if it's a darker image, it seems to work better. So you can see where that line is, but in the darker image, it's not so noticeable. So, but that's my experience with it. Lots of light. Use lots of light.
Okay.
That's the one I had. That's the one I was going with. So was that a BioShock background that you were trying to put on there, or what was that background?
Oh, that was Dr. Strange's museum.
Okay. I knew I had seen that from somewhere.
So I will catch you guys later. Time to go for a dinner run.
Dinner time. All right.
Yep.
We will talk to everybody, or we'll see you later. I guess it's not time for everybody to go yet.
Yeah, it's a little early for me.
Bye.
I bet Art might have SRM AM radio over there.
I'm sorry?
I bet you have SRM radio transmitters in the AM band where you are, digital
Pro-
AM, or digital
prob-
transmitters on the AM band.
Probably do. I don't have I haven't bought a dongle for out here yet. I'm using the SDR dongle that I had in Milford. I'm using it in Milford, and it allows me to monitor the temperature and humidity and so forth in a bunch of different locations. I'm also able now to monitor my mailbox, so I know when my mailbox opens. Now all I've got to do is figure out somebody to come by and pick up the mail. And it's amazing the number of TPMSs I get. I'm halfway convinced I'm picking up some stuff from the freeway that's about a mile away, because there's an awful lot of TPMS traffic.
See, those things are supposed to be really low power. I don't know.
Well, I'm sure they are. I mean, the battery they've got in them is about the size of an aspirin tablet. So,
Yeah, and they're supposed to last about 7 years, and then you have to replace them.
yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
And most places don't even like to replace them even after the battery dies in them. I've had mine have been dead on my cars for I don't know how long, and nobody wants to replace them.
Really?
Yep. I've asked 2 or 3 places to replace them, and they don't want to.
Well, you can replace them yourself if you can take a tire off.
That doesn't sound like something well, I can take the tire off.
Getting it back on again is the problem.
Yeah, I'm sure I could use a little crowbar or something and get that tire, break the seal and get the tire off. I don't know how I would get it back on.
I was going to say, I think the last time I took a tire on and off of a rim was before the days of tubeless tires. So that puts it in some kind of perspective. I think I was probably 17 or 18 years old, something like that.
Yeah.
So I have a general question. If any of you know, first of all, does everybody have Duke Energy?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
And I think they have smart meters throughout these days, don't they? They no longer send a guy around writing down on a clipboard what your reading is. I'm assuming they're all smart meters, right?
Ours are.
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Mine is.
So,
Yep.
So what is the frequency and modulation and protocol for that? It's not 433. I've determined that. Whoa.
What?
Who's this?
What are you doing?
You got a new member?
What is that, Kenny?
Dead Like Me.
Yeah,
What was that?
there's a clip off of Dead Like Me. It's an old TV show that Kenny likes.
Okay.
Had to crack his DVD to get that.
I bought a set of DVDs maybe about 4 years ago, and I enjoy watching that over and over and over again. And it's cute. It's got a little punchline. Okay, so, but when we went to Windows 10, okay, I couldn't play it. Wouldn't let me play it. So, yeah. And and it's not pirated. Okay, it's a real set. You know, we got on Amazon. So, yeah.
So it wouldn't decode it, or what was the problem, Ken?
Yeah,
It
it
wouldn't
had
open.
a .fob file type or something, and it was okay. You just had to use the what's that player we use, Leroy? HLM or whatever.
VLC.
DL,
Hey, Ray.
DLD. Yeah, and I had to tell it to look at it as a DVD, and then it just played.
Oh wow.
You couldn't play the
Really?
individual files. You just say that's a DVD and go play it, and then it was fine.
Huh.
Hmm.
Okay.
Sounds like it's a little, the extension, the codec is a little odd, I think. So yeah,
It's
we got,
Microsoft wants you to buy the codexes.
Yeah. Yeah. Microsoft wants to make money off of it.
I think that's true of everything with respect to Microsoft.
Hmm.
Got to pay for that divorce somehow.
According to Wikipedia, there are several different types of wireless that are being used for your smart meters. There are ad hoc Wi-Fi networks. There are
Really?
wireless mesh networks. There is the WISE protocol, which is 169 megahertz. There's Zigbee that they also use, and Wi-Sun, which I believe are both 2.4 gigahertz.
Really?
Yep. So I guess it depends on who made your meter and whatever. So they're using it looks like it predominantly is in the 2.4 gigahertz range.
Okay. Well, that's out of the range of my SDR dongle, at any rate. So.
Yeah. But you might get lucky and be in the 169, 170 megahertz range, but
So how does that work? It just sends out a pulse periodically with an update on the current and voltage or whatever they're monitoring. I assume they're monitoring power.
there's a number, according to Wikipedia, there's a couple of different protocols that they use, depending upon location and whatever, but it doesn't really go into what it actually is doing or sending.
Okay, well, I was hoping to be able to monitor my power meter, my electric meter and gas meter remotely, but it sounds to me like I'm not going to be able to do that.
Yeah, I don't think unless you stick a camera up on there or something and watch it.
Well, that I could do, obviously, but that is difficult to do from 2,500 miles away.
Yeah. Wikipedia here. I'll put a link. We're down to about 3.5 minutes, but I'll put
That's
a link.
Hey, Vicente.
Hi.
Oh, look who snuck in here.
And Ray's here too.
Ray is not driving. What happened?
Eating popcorn, watching us, waiting for the big fight.
I don't know what this WISE protocol is. When it's in the 169 megahertz.
Well, 169 I could get easily.
Yeah. But I don't think I've ever heard of that one. It looks like they might also be using like a LoRa protocol, which would probably put them in the 915 megahertz range.
Yeah, that
here
I
in
could
the
get
States.
also.
But it doesn't say exactly, you know, it doesn't really say, it doesn't look like it says specifically. So I guess you just have to kind of scan around and see. And I don't know how you would know if you were reading if you were reading your power or if you were reading somebody else's power.
Well, generally speaking, the way that most of these protocols work is they have an ID code, some sort of.
Yeah, but
Think
I
of a
don't know.
MAC. Think of a MAC address,
Yeah.
kind of a thing. So.
Well, if they're using like a LoRa, like maybe LoRa WAN kind of protocol, that would be encrypted. So you probably wouldn't even be able to do anything with that anyway. I don't know. But I put a link to the Wikipedia site, so it might tell you something more than what I saw quickly reading through it.
Well, I'll take a look at it. Well, somebody today apparently is spending their $5 million that they, oh, cool, that they collected for doing about $1 billion worth of damage to the economy. I thought they were pretty cheap to only go for 5 million. I mean, I would think that if you're going to do something like that, you'd get a bigger payoff than that. Of course, it may be that bigger numbers are easier to track too. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Right. We're about
yeah,
40
45.
seconds or so.
Yeah,
So
we're going to switch channels, right?
we're going to switch over to the other one here real soon. Just let this one kick us out. And here we go. I'll see everybody in a couple seconds. Maybe.